We are in the home stretch of 2022. I'm still trying to figure out what happened in 2020, and it's time to start building business plans for 2023. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. I'm going to start and just ask JC, Miss Julia Cumming, to go ahead and drop the link to the business planning clinic sign up in the chat box. This thing is going to be showing up in the chat box about a half a dozen times today. It can't be said enough times in enough ways. This is arguably the single most important training that we will do this year. It is what separates the super successful entrepreneurs and business owners from the people who are good realtors. Now, I don't mean to disparage anyone who is a good realtor, but when we think about the mission of our company, which is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving, we fill those all in various ways. But if I had to structure that phrase maybe a little bit differently, I would start with businesses worth owning, because I choose to believe that that is the one that unlocks everything else. No matter what you want in life, and we'll talk about this next Monday at the Business Planning Clinic, about how to identify that, maximize that. But whatever you want, business ownership, entrepreneurship, can unlock that. And so what we want to do is have a plan to unlock that, right? And so for those of you who have participated in the business planning clinic previously, you're going to hear a little bit about what's new and improved there. And it's also not a set it and forget it, right? You would never set a goal and then just check back in. Just because you had a business plan last year, I promise you, you want to be in the room with over 100 other agents working through, close to 200 agents is what we'll have there, working through strategies, tactics, and everything in between. But today's conversation is going to be about how to prepare for that. So we'll get to that at the top of the hour. As we start every week, we're going to start this week with a little conversation about our belief system, right? So Keller Williams has a mission, a vision, values, a belief system, and a perspective. And these 10 items are the 10 things that make up our belief system. We're very excited that these show up so regularly in the lives of our agents. These are not only how we should operate as a company, or how we should operate as agents, or how we should treat each other, or how we should treat our co-brokes. They're really a good framework for how to treat everybody. And based on our series this month, which is going to be focused all on business planning and maximizing our business in 2023, I want to talk about success. And that's results through people. Many of you have heard me talk about this one previously. Results with people or alongside people is actually one that is a tweak that I would make. And I want you to think about this business planning process and this preparation for the big year we're going to have next year, that you're going to have next year. Lean on the community around you. Take advantage of the idea that we have over 470 agents in this office that are available, ready, willing, and able to help one another. And so as you build your plan for success, and we're going to talk about it today as a pre-work, you got to know who's in your corner, who's in your organization. And guys, do not think like, oh, I don't have a team, I'm just an individual agent. There is nobody who is just an individual agent. Nobody, right? You've got mortgage partners, title partners, property management partners, inspectors, plumbers, roofing, transaction coordination, mentors, people that are in your coaching programs, your coach, right? When you start to think about everybody that's around you, you can think bigger and about more success because you realize there's all these people that are in your corner. So as you approach today, tomorrow, and everything leading up to and following the business planning clinic, please make sure you think about not what you want to do exclusively, but who can help you, and then turn around and think about who you can help. Speaking of people who are having success, here are all of our cappers for the month of September. So big shout outs to, I just forgot what month it was there for a second. Big shout out to a few of our first time cappers. I believe Mr. Jerry Berg and Miss Lindsay Mooney are first time cappers, along with Keanu and Laurel. And gosh, I want to say Amanda Hill, but I'm kind of thinking Amanda capped last year as well. Anyway, you slice it. A lot of cappers this month, really strong month. Congratulations to everyone, whether it was your first time or your 50th time. We're very excited for you to now be earning 100% commission. And guys, going back to that conversation about success, if you're looking for people who are having success, who, you might be able to pick their brain or, plug into them on, hey, what's leading to these good outcomes for you? I promise you, people will pick up the phone. Here's a great place to start. Go look at who's on the capper wall, buy him a $2 cup of coffee at Davis Bakery, and learn from them so that you can do it next year. And a huge success is how I would describe the KW Cares Clam Bake for 2022, with I think just under 250 attendees that evening. We're still waiting. There's so much money raised. We're still counting it. So still trying to figure out what exactly the total was. But I want to give a couple shout outs. If you were there on Friday night, you heard these, but to our KW Cares committee. This is a group, an internal group of agents who helps steward the funds that we raise and support agents. And then also they are, a big part of the execution of this event in September every year and our Red Day event in May. So I'm sure, forget some people here, but Sam Krieger, Allison Benoit, Dale Osberg, Debbie Ritchie, Jane Evans, Helene Cicero, Liz Kosminski, and more that will probably show up in the chat after they realize that I didn't say them. It's a volunteer position. It is a great thing for our agents and for our company. And I just want to say thank you to all of those people who made this event possible, which allows us to help others inside of our company and in their communities and be supported. I also want to shout out all members of our staff and leadership team that were responsible for checking people in, getting people their tickets, collecting cash, setting up. We have an awesome company. Most people at most companies fly out the door at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and we're very appreciative that our staff was just getting started at 5 o'clock on Friday. So thank you to that team as well. All right, let's talk about some upcoming training. Over the weekend, you all got an action-packed calendar for October of 2022. Today, we're kicking off the sales meeting series for the month. It's going to be all about business planning. So we're going to talk about building that business plan on Monday, October 10th. Monday, October 10th is the business planning clinic. We're going to drop that link back in the chat so that you can get your ticket, so you can be there, so you can have what you want next year. Also, on Wednesday of next week, we have a really cool estate and probate session. This is where we bring a couple of our partners together, our legal partner, Josh Halpern, and our title team at GM Title and Escrow are going to be rocking and rolling on what to do with estates and probate and how to navigate that as a strong realtor. you will note on the 15th, we are hosting a business planning clinic light. If you are watching this and you say, oh, God, I want to be there, but I can't make it on Monday, don't worry. I'm going to give you the diet version, which is still very effective for on Saturday the 15th. We'll be hosting it live in the Pepper Pike office and on Zoom. Guys, I want to be clear. Your priority is to be there on Monday, right? Do not convince yourself that you'll be fine with 3 hours. 6 hours is the play. The Saturday version is exclusively for our dual career agents who otherwise can't be there on Monday. All right, as we get into the back half of the month, we got some big stuff. We're going to talk about GPS and 411 on a sales meeting. We're going to talk about coaching and all the different levels of coaching that you can engage in. And then we have a Keller Williams superstar coming on October 26th. That I'm going to talk about here in just a second. So there's all the details for the business planning clinic. Use KWGM agent singular and save $10. So one thing to note is that, guys, seats are going to sell out for this. It is going to there are some seats reserved for every other Keller Williams office in Northeast Ohio as well, because what do you know, we have a really awesome business planning clinic and everybody wants to be in on it. So get your ticket, and also know that, you know, we're offering it at a discounted rate to you as our agents. It's something exclusive for you. So please take advantage of that. Our career nights, October 17th and 24th. So those are not next week, but the 2 weeks following. Those will be back in the offices. So those of you who have been so gracious and so great about sending talent our way, guys, we have great turnouts at these events. No matter what anybody, even me, says about a shifting market, a career in real estate is still an interesting, exciting opportunity and good for a lot of people in your life. Between the 2 career nights that we had last month, we met over 35 individuals who were interested in a career in real estate. So I promise you, as the economy keeps shifting, more people are going to get more interested in what you're doing that allows you to have freedom, flexibility, and financial success. Bring them into the fold. Take advantage of the opportunity to help us grow our company with the right people. And then on October 26th, this is a big, all capital letters, bold, big deal. Aaron Kaufman is the, he used to say that he was the self-proclaimed KW evangelist. I don't think that that's actually the case. I think that I've actually heard Gary Keller, the chairman and CEO of Keller Williams and founder, say, this guy is the chief evangelist. He is the best at helping people understand, activate, engage, and enjoy what it means to be a part of Keller Williams. He is a little raw and rough around the edges, so which is a good message, right? You're not gonna, when you hear Aaron talk, you're gonna hear his passion. You're gonna hear his fire for what we do as a company. And if there was one event after the business planning clinic that I thought you had to be at to make sure that you have your foot down on the gas for next year, it is this event. So the link's going in the chat for that. This again, now this is a region-wide event. So we already have a couple dozen people signed up for it. This is another one that will sell out. Aaron hasn't been in Northeast Ohio for 3 years. He is now coming back. He sold out last time. He will sell out this time. There is nobody who attended the first go round that would not attend the second one. So please take advantage of this opportunity. We're very excited to have this for you to help you plug in at a higher level with Keller Williams locally, regionally, and internationally. And then we are bringing back, I think for the 3rd consecutive year, is that right? For the 3rd consecutive year, our trunk or treat and chili cook-off, right? So this is going to be a really fun event on Saturday, Saturday, October 22nd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Pepper Pike office or in the Pepper Pike office parking lot. What we are looking for here is the opportunity to have you set up and decorate a trunk, give out candy, provide a neat experience for people who come through with their friends and family. Now, if we were just doing this as a company and raising a little money for KW Cares by giving out scoops of my award-winning chili that is absolutely positively better than Marty Emmerman's, I would say, hey, that's a great event. This is what's cool. So you guys all either received or will receive today or tomorrow this graphic. Now you will note that this graphic does not have our brokerage logo all over it, because what we want you to do is to put your logo on this and make it your client event, right? So we've got about 18 days until this event happens. You could take this graphic, hit everybody in your database, call anybody that you have that you know is tagged in your database as having kids that are of trick-or-treating age or grandkids of trick-or-treating age, and tell them, hey, I'm hosting an event. I'm having an event that is that I want you to be at because I know, like, and trust you as a client, and I would love for you to be there. If you can't be there, feel free to tell one of your friends, right? Or even if you are, this is a client event. This is a client event that you very easily just bolt onto. Now, how cool is it? Now think about this. We're going to have an event. I don't know. We probably had 100 people come through last year for either chili or for candy. What are your clients going to think when they show up to your client event and there's over 100 people there? They're going to think, damn. Hold on, I don't have any agents on my screen. They're going to think, damn, Sophie Boland's doing a lot of business, right? Good. Take advantage of that. It doesn't matter if you haven't done any business, right? They're going to see you and see this and see what you're doing. And that's going to help you take some mind share. So please, 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 please take advantage of this event. If you want to have a car there, I would say if you're going to use this as a client event, you probably want to put your car out there. I will probably be going for that title as well this year. Again, I say again, I've never won, but maybe someday. All right, that's going to do it for updates on the training calendar. If anyone needs anything related to that, check the chat. All right, going to throw it over to our mighty men of mortgage, and actually, I think I saw Carmen on here as well. So I take that back. Our mighty mortgage partners.
Morning, Mike. Hey, Mike, did you hear about the butter shortage we have going into the holidays?
The butter shortage?
Yeah, but I tell you what, we don't have a shortage of. More financing ideas to sell your next property.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I thought, I'm sure you're able to really churn those out.
Touche. Very good, Mike. Wow. And I'm impressed. All right. We should way to lead with that. Now it's all downhill from here. Okay, so I'm gonna I put a flyer in the chat today, but we kind of teased it last week, and in talking about the different sort of creative financing options in a shifting market. So I'm going to keep this simple. I have a way of overcomplicating this, but how does this sound? The seller or realtor or somebody, apply 0.75% seller concession. So on a $200,000 sale price, that'd be $1,500. With that, we can buy down the buyer's interest rate 1% for the first year. So let's just say 30-year rates are at 7%. You can kind of throw that carrot out there of 6% for the first year. It's a great way for a buyer to kind of ease into that payment, give them the opportunity to have, at least for 1 year, the interest rates that were here a month or so ago. So it's a great option. We could do the 2-1 buy down. So that costs a little over 2% of a concession, but that would buy the interest rate down 2% for the first year, 1% for the second year, and then kind of back to the final version, the final scenario after that. So it's a temporary buy down. This is often, you hear this sort of technique when, there's a shifting market and interest rates are going up, especially at the pace that we have. So it's an old sort of technique, an old sort of, option that was out there. So I'll have Chris and Don chime in on that. And then one other thing I wanted to mention, we'll put this on the Facebook a little bit later today, but we're going to have a November 2nd, a kind of a big time kind of event. Cross Country Mortgage is going to invite, I think we're capped at 250. This isn't just our branch. This is all of Northeastern Ohio. Can invite up to a capacity of 250 realtors to hear a coach come in and talk about just sort of, again, selling in a shifting market. It's going to be down at the First Energy, the Brown Stadium. Ooh. So we'll have more details on that. Obviously, there's no cost for that, and parking is free. So we'll get details to you on that. But we'll post that in the Facebook page later today. So just to give you a heads up on that. But Don and Chris?
Hey, Sean, don't you forgot to mention the most important part of that event. It's the happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. afterwards.
Yes, be there.
That will get people to show up.
Don't bury the lead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to make a margarine joke and I lost it. But I think you covered it.
Cool. Thanks, Mike.
One thing I want to add, hey, Sean, on that 2-1 buy down, should interest rates drop drastically in that 3-year period, or the seller or the buyer sells their home, the money that's in the escrow account to cover those reduced payments for those 2 years will be applied to the principal of the loan. So that money's not lost once it's used.
Good point.
Right. Fantastic, gentlemen. That is a very good update. They ought to lock me up. All right, over to our friends with GM Title and Escrow. I think I saw Jade on here. Good morning, Jade.
Good morning, everyone. So I just wanted to reiterate what we talked about today. You guys talked about this morning. Next Wednesday, I believe, we are doing a lunch and learn all about probate. It will be a Zoom, so hopefully see everyone there. It's also a really great class for transaction coordinators, anybody like that. And again, I just want to also reiterate, I know the market's changing, open houses, brokers opens are coming back. So if you guys are hosting any of those, we would love to sponsor it, bring snacks. We have the open house basket. So let us know if we could do either one of those for you guys.
That is awesome. Team, please take advantage of that. Doing the open house is one thing. Doing doing it to the 7th level, as we say, door knocking, giveaways, all the marketing that goes into it, leveraging the title company for all the little knickknacks. Like those things are what take an open house from good to business, right? And remember, when you do open houses, you're not looking for buyers, you're looking for sellers. Everyone's walking through wondering if you'll do the same thing with their house. All right, Gina is not with us this morning, and not sure, did I see Jess Ivins? Jess is not either. So we are going to dive into today's conversation around preparing for the business planning clinic. So this is a know before you go, a pre-work session. So I will need some audience participation this morning, as there is going to be a few key things that I want you to consider. First of all, go get your ticket for the business planning clinic on Monday, October 10th. This is a full day event where up front, there's going to be lunch and 6 hours of CE. That is worth the price of admission and attendance. It's just to begin with, right? You're going to get fed, and you're going to get 20% of your necessary continuing education credits in one day, right? Which is a big deal. Now, the thing that you are really going to benefit from is not the food and not the idea of 6 hours of CE, but is that you're going to leave with a business plan that nails down everything from you understanding the economics to your business, you understanding how to fuel your business with leads, how to control your business from a budgetary standpoint, and how to succeed through others for next year. Now I'm going to throw up on the screen. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because I don't want you to work ahead. I want everybody to take a minute and to think about, and if you got pen and paper in front of you, like a good pupil here for this session, then that's awesome. I want you to start putting pen to paper when I ask you some of these questions. First of all, and the root of what we're focused on with our business, we believe that business is meant to fund your perfect life, right? Money's good for the good money can do. So we need to understand what exactly do we want to do and how much money do we need to make to earn through a career in real estate with our real estate business next year to live the life that we want. Start thinking about all the things that you want to do. You want to take that vacation. You want to give to that charity. You want to pay off that credit card debt. You want to spend more on Christmas than you've ever spent. You want to celebrate your wedding anniversary with a surprise vacation for your spouse. You start thinking of these things. Like, what would, if you're going to have your best year next year from a life standpoint, what would it look like? Right. And unfortunately, for the time being, things still cost money. And so you want to start backing into that number. And as follow-up to this meeting, we're going to send out a one-pager that is going to help guide that, or is going to have a spot for that. And then I want you to start thinking about your business expenses, because spoiler alert, guys, what you get paid in commission is not profit. As lean as you can run a real estate business, there are still expenses involved with it. So I want you to make this a very effective business planning clinic on Monday. I want you to start tallying up your expenses. Do that very scary thing and go online, find your credit card, and cut it up. No, I'm kidding. Print out your last 6 months worth of statements. If you have a business card, just do it for the business card. If you don't have a business card, you got some work cut out for it. I want you to start looking at, what did you spend money on for your business? Oh, I had that. I got those folders, or, I paid my board dues, or I re-upped my MLS. So sometimes we always forget that. I actually forgot to pay my MLS dues a couple weeks ago. That was pretty dicey. But start writing those things down. Do you host client events? Do you spend money on open houses, right? Do you give a closing gift, right? What are the things that you are spending money on to fund your business? And these are things that you have to give yourself. You have to understand for yourself. And if you don't, then I promise you're just going to settle in to right around where you were at and right around where you've been. When you really start to do the calculus involved with understanding how much money you want and how much money it takes to run your business, you can really start to back into an important goal. And the next thing that I'll ask you to do as it relates to preparing for next year, I'm going to actually ask Julia Cumming to share her screen and show you guys what it looks like to get really clear on your numbers, get really clear on what you did this year or in previous years. So I need a volunteer, somebody who's been in the business for a couple years, 2-3 years would be ideal. And I need you to be comfortable sharing or having people see what your multi-year trends look like, or what your businesses look like over the last couple of years.
Happy to share.
Is that you, Sophie?
It is.
Okay, awesome. So Sophie Bolin is going to be our volunteer here. So JC, you want to walk through, where are you at? What is this website you're looking at right now?
Hi, good morning, everyone. So this is probably not that familiar of a website to most of you because we use Command, which is agent.kw.com for everything. But this website is mykw.kw.com. It is where currently all of the KW reporting is housed. So if you're ever looking for any type of reports, our financial statement, other things, you're going to find them right here under your name on this reports link. And this is also where you're going to find your own personal multi-year trends, which is going to have documented everything you've done in your business through KW since the time you started here. So that's mykw.kw.com. It is the exact same login as what you would use for Command if you have not been here before. Okay. So once we click on reports, it will load. There we go. Okay, so this is all you're going to see at first. You're just going to hover over that reports section. You're going to see a drop down. Yours might be a little bit smaller than mine since I have Market Center access, but the one that you're going to want to pay right attention to is associate. That will be the first one for you as well. And when you're looking at your own, you're going to just hit multi-year trends, and that's going to show you your own multi-year trends. I have the privilege of being able to see all of your multi-year trends. So I'm going to go to Sophie's now for the example today. You'll get used to this if you are in reports a lot like I am. Yours shouldn't take so long. This is loading everyone's at the same time. So hopefully that is why it is taking a second to process. Okay. So I'm going to go down here. You will not have this bar. Yours will come up like this when you look at your own, and you'll just hit that link for multi-year trends when you're looking at your own. Oh, this is my last name. Okay, so I will select that link for multi-year trends. As you see, there's other reports here that you'll be able to look at for your own as well. You'll have links to all of those. Okay, so what we see here is from 2024, and when Sophie joined Keller Williams, this has tracked everything she's done. So we can look right off the bat at closed units. It's going to have by every month that there was a closing, and then the total for each year. And then there will be percentage growth on the side, both for this year versus last year, August, and then a year over year as well. So, and Mike, interject whenever you want here.
Yeah, shout out to Sophie. Awesome growth, year one to year two. Very, no wonder she volunteered to have her numbers. This is awesome. But this exists for everybody, specific to when you had your closings. A very important thing, their fourth from the top, is listings taken, right? So you can see how many listings you've taken, what that looks like, the total volume when you sold those listings. When we know our numbers, right, we can make informed decisions about them. If Sophie looked at if she was going to set a goal of selling 40 units next year, right, and maybe because she was unaware of where it's like, hey, you might coach her through that and say, okay, tell me more about that. Are we dramatically shifting our price point? Is there a reason that you want to do less? And if we don't know where we are, we have a really hard time getting to where we want to go. And this report will show you a lot of different cuts of data that help you understand what your current outcomes and outputs are.
Yeah, so the first page is, what we think of most probably is closed units and listings taken. And an important one Mike pointed out is listings sold. So being aware of when you're taking those listings and then when listings sell. So this is not just tracking closed units. This is tracking just the list side. So that's the listing sold. So last year of Sophie's 46 closed units, 26 of those were listings. That's an important metric to be aware of in everyone's business of how many of your closed units are coming from the list side versus the buy side. So this will break that up for you as well. There's also going to be the buy side if you keep scrolling down. So here's the buy side close. So there's the balance of the 46 is the 20 of those were buy side. That also breaks it up into volume. So there's at the top, you have your total closed sales volume. In 2021, it was 8 million for Sophie. If we scroll down a little bit of the listings sold, 4.5 million of her total volume was listings and 3.5 roughly was her buy side. So as you'll see in the worksheet that you'll get in preparation for the business planning clinic, breaking down your business by the list and buy side is a huge part of that in your projections. And obviously that starts with listings taken to have a listing sold. Okay, this also will document leases. So if you have rentals that you're working on, this is going to track it here as well. So you might be asking yourself, like, where does all this information come from? This is taken from what you submit to the office in Command via your commission requests. The listings taken is generated when you list a home in the MLS that populates to the KWLS, which is the Keller Williams back-end listing server. When we close out one of your listings in our system and pay you your commission, we tie that commission to the listing. So the system knows that listing closed, it closed for this price, it closed in that month. So all that data monthly is combined and put into this report. We just closed the September books yesterday, so this will be updated for September, likely by the end of the week. So what we're seeing here is just through August of this year. This also will document your contracts written. So before we have closings, we have to write contracts, right? That this is going to be something that you will project out how many contracts do I have to write next year to close this many homes. We know that there's fallout. We know that things happen in deals. So typically the contracts written goal is higher than your closed unit goal. This is tracked by the date that you submit your commission request. So that is why it is super important that you submit those on time or when you write the offer or when the ROC is signed and not right when it closes, because your months will be off if you wait till the end of the deal. The contracts written data will not be exact to when the contract was actually written. And it also, if the deal falls through and you never submitted anything for it, it's as if it doesn't exist here. So
I think that's a really important one to call out. It seems like busy work or unnecessary, but when we get into the business plan and you need to figure out what your conversion rate is from listings taken to listings sold, or you need to figure out your conversion rate from, under contract to close. If you don't have good data, right, we might be tempted to say, oh, well, everything I write closes because that's what this might tell you, or everything that I list sells. And even if it has, it might not be the case. You might understate what you need to do from a contract or a listing standpoint, right? So it looks like Sophie is pretty diligent about having those things in, since she's got a contract total that is higher than her closing total, right? And then she has now a percentage that she can base next year's goal off of. If she wants to close 50 units, and let's say she closes 50% of the contracts that she writes, then she needs to write 100 contracts. And now we're moving further up the stream to controllable lead indicators for your business. Because if we just say, I want to close 50 units, you cannot go close a unit tomorrow, but you can write a contract, right? Or you can go on a listing appointment. So what we want to do is we want to take the things we get paid for closings and bring it upstream to the things that we can do in the next 24 hours. And that puts us in control of our outcomes, albeit maybe 30, 60, or 90 days later. And so that's, that's just my plug to actually use the systems there, regardless of whether or not it's, to use them for something other than just getting paid. And it will serve you at a higher level.
Yeah, there's reasons further than just we want to see everything inside of Command. These tools help you plan for the future in your business and to better understand your business and where that's coming from, when it's happening, and so on. Okay, so as we work through the report, average sales price is next. So we talk about this on the Money Matters Mastermind sometimes. We share our office average sales price. This is going to give you what your average sales price is. So when you're doing listing presentations, when you're talking to buyers, if you're looking to say like, oh, I'd like to get my average sales price higher. Well, you have to know what it is to start. And just thinking about your last couple sales is not, although those are top of mind, that's not your true average sales price. So this is giving you the sales volume by month and then by year, so that you have an accurate average sales price. GCI is next. We all care about that. I will move forward just in case. Oh no.
No.
Oh, give me a second, everyone. I'll stop sharing for a second.
Well, yeah, we can pop back to that. The point is that if you didn't know that that was a thing, now you know, right? And go ahead and you're going to be at the business planning clinic on Monday. I know all of you are. In the outside chance that you aren't, go and just play around in some of those reports. The change that you want to create in your life through business starts with awareness. And so when you're aware of this is how many contracts I actually write, this is how many contracts I actually take. Now, I will tell you, I get to work with and consult on businesses for lots of agents inside of and outside of our company. I've met maybe one or two out of the 500 that are in our company that know their numbers and to any degree of accuracy, right? Typically when I ask people about their business, they round up. It's like, oh, they might have done 24 units. They're going to tell me 25. They might have done 25 units. They're going to tell me 30. That's fine. Nothing wrong with juicing the stats a little bit. But the one that always scares me is I ask people, well, what are you doing list side to sell buy side? And everybody, what do you think they say? What do you think everybody says when I say, what are you doing list side to buy side?
50-50.
50-50. 50-50. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that there is a buyer and a seller for every transaction. There are but very few that actually hold 50-50. Some people hold more in the listing side than they do on the buy side, right? Which is an easy thing to ratchet up right there. If you've got you should have at least as many buyers as you have listings because you're generating a lot of leads for buyers, and we can explore that. But most people are most comfortable with buyers. And so most people that say that they're 50-50 on buy side, sell side are 75-25 on the buy side. And what we'll get into at the business planning clinic is one of the first pieces of leverage for a real estate agent is a listing. And guys, I promise you, as Mark Twain once said, if you could have every buyer in the market or every seller in the market, which one would you want? You'd want every seller in the market. You want listings. You want listings and you want more of them. And so we're going to talk a lot about that next week at the business planning clinic. Now, to bring it home, there are a couple more things that I want you to go seek out. One, log into KW Command and count how many noses are in the database. How many people do you have in your database? That's a number that you're going to need to know. If it's 0, that's fine. You just have to be aware. I don't have anybody in my database. Okay, cool. Now we'll go from there. Now, The next thing I want you to do is think about, what are you currently doing for your marketing plan, right? What does it consist of? Direct mail, Facebook ads, online pay-per-click ads. I got a really cool Instagram account that everyone follows. Like, whatever it is, what is your marketing plan? You know, in less than 25 words, write it out. Identify your top 3 sources of business, right? Oh, it's sign calls, door knocking, sphere of influence, referrals, and online leads. OpCity, Zillow, and Realtor.com. Whatever it is, where do you get your business? You want to understand that and be aware. Then I want you to think about, you know, I talked about this around the success through people, results through others. Who is on your team? Do you have do you got your go-to mortgage person? Of course you do. You got Sean Hadley or Don Drecke or Chris Bullock. Do you have a title rep? Of course, you got Jade, you got Tiffany. Do you have somebody that has your back when it comes to home warranty, or that you can hand off home warranty opportunities to? Of course, Gina Legeza. Do you have a transaction coordinator that you use when things get really busy? Maybe. Maybe you have an admin. Maybe you have somebody who does your Facebook posts or does your marketing. Maybe you use a VA. I hope everybody would include, you know, myself, Julia, Carrie, Erica, Kate, Kelly, Eric, Andrew, Wesley, Jake, as a part of their team. We're all here for you and are here to help you. For those of you who have a coach, who's your coach? If you don't have a coach, who's your accountability partner? I really want you to get serious about that. I've had some agents who use their children as their accountability partner, right? You know, they gotta, you know, they want to take that trip to Disney, or they want to, you know, do whatever it is, you know, that for their kids. You know, that kid can be a good accountability partner, right? Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's me, maybe it's another agent in the office. Really start to think about, who are the people who are cheering you on? Not the people who like your Facebook posts or will send you some motivational Instagram reel or anything like that. Who are the people who, you know, pick up when you call, will help you, you can pay to help you, or benefit from you having success? That's your team. Understand that. And if you don't have all of those filled in, that's going to be part of your business plan for next year. But you have to understand where you're at before you can get where you're going. And then the last 2 things that you'll see on there, what's the biggest opportunity in your business, right? Maybe you've got a database of 1,000 people and your database doesn't even crack the top 5 lead sources for you, right? Holy moly. There's anywhere from 60 to 80 deals in a 1,000-person database, right? So think about what you might be leaving on the table there with respect to that. But what is the biggest opportunity? The biggest opportunity might be, hey, I really don't have any expenses. I think if I maybe leaned in a little bit on the marketing or the lead gen side, or I'm not doing any lead gen and business has just been coming to me for the last couple of years. Critically think about your opportunity. And then the very last thing that you'll see on this is, to reach my full potential, I need to blank. What do you need to do to reach your full potential in real estate, right? And guys, whether your goal is to sell 4 units because you're dual career and you just want to use it to, you know, sneak in some extra payments on your mortgage or start squirreling away money for the kids' college, we will build a business plan for 4 units. You should have a business plan for 4 units or 40 units or 400 units. I don't care what your goal is. This business plan, agents with business plans are more likely to hit their goals than the ones without, right? And so if I could take a day and exponentially increase the likelihood that I would achieve my goals, I wouldn't miss that opportunity, right? And so maybe the biggest the thing you need to reach your potential is a business plan. To build a plan and work a plan, there's not really much else to do. That's going to do it for today, guys. One more time, let's drop the link in the chat while we play some music out. Everyone can pop in the chat, click that link, get your ticket, use the promo code at checkout, KWGM agent, to make sure you get the special Greater Metropolitan price.